Now then, let me work out which series is next. And let me read off some of the subscriptions, actually, that happened during the game. Thank you all very much for everyone who has followed and subscribed during the game. I don't know what's happening with BlizzCon, so let's have a look. So we had S623153661 for the follow. Aha, said Disuk. Oh god. Ahak Sedasak, thank you very much for the follow. Grendel Howling, thank you for the follow. And Aha again, thank you for the subscription with your Twitch Prime. Low Tech Mav, thank you very much for the follow. Lobster Duck, what a name. Thank you very much for the follow. Barrett NJL, thank you for the follow. Flying German, thank you for the Prime. And Some Hacker, thank you for the follow. Prada Shiva, thank you for the follow. Irentez, thank you for the follow. J Scott Ghost, we just did, thank you for the follow. Kielon, something like that, thank you for the Prime. And just now, LSJ, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Cool, let me find out which game is next for you all. And then I'm going to have to do the classic very wonky changing method in terms of the replays. Okay, so next game is, drumroll please, CE versus TheOne. Okay then. So let me do that then. Let me find the replay to put these files back in. That's SVT versus TheOne. Just get these files. Okay. That's what I just had, right? SVT versus TheOne. SVT versus TheOne. Okay, delete those files. Okay, so we're looking for CE versus... We're looking for CE versus TheOne. Let's find that folder. We're having to do this, once again, we're having to do this in such a wonky way in order to make this work. CE versus TheOne, that's what we're looking for. And copy. And paste. And find game number 1. Thank you for labeling them. HGC China, very helpful. And that's game number 1. Bam! Drag it in, we'll have that load up. And who else just followed? That is Lonkappa. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are all enjoying. Once again, this is absolutely not what I intended to do today. I was just looking at the website, was at the HGC China website, and I was like, oh, this is happening. Okay, and just loaded that up. So that's what that's what I decided to do today. The grand finals have not been played yet. They're happening on Saturday. I might see if I might see if I can cast that live. We'll see what happens there. S4 Yed, thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Hang on. Wait up. Slow down, stream. All right, let's have a look. So TheOne are on the right side, so that's good. I don't have to change that at all. Yeah, that's true. Wasn't planning on doing this today either. All right, so we do have to change SPT to CE and change the score to a 0. And that looks right to me. All right, cool. And I think if that's the case, that should be just about ready once the game actually shows up in the capture. Hooray, hooray. There it is. That's what we want. Cool. All right, I'm going to have a quick drink, and then we'll get underway. Captain Riggs, thank you for the follow. Delicious. Alrighty. Yeah, the black screen shows up for a while because once again, I'm basically not running Heroes of the Storm. I'm basically running the support file for Heroes of the Storm. I don't know how it works, but this is the one that. But for some reason, the support file actually runs Chinese replays, whereas the actual game doesn't. If you try to run them in the game, it doesn't work. Excuse me. All right, so then, as such, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into game number 1 of our 3rd series of the day. Neither of these teams have been able to take a series. Let's see if they can turn it round now as we load in to the Infernal Shrines. And spawning on the left-hand side, currently with not a single map win, it is going to be CE Challenge with a Lufel on the Malthael this time. Very interesting. We have a Nubarak, we have Sonya, we have Ashbringer playing that Reyna, and 365 playing on the White Mane. Whereas on the right-hand side, it is going to be, also with no victories to their name, it is TheOne. And playing for them, we have Mal'Ganis, we have Sylvanas, we have Tyrael, we have Tyrande, and we have Tupoko. Once again, playing on the Garrosh. So, let's have a look at the amount of CC that CE have. We have stuns, and that's about it. They're a little bit of a knockback. Not as much of a stun combo as maybe you would like against a Mal'Ganis, but we'll see if it is effective. Percentage damage, though, will be really nice for them as the game goes on. But look at this side. We have a fair amount of CC and a huge amount of protection for this Mal'Ganis, keeping him sustained throughout the fight with the help of Tyrael. A basically triple tank comp with a Sylvanas here coming in from TheOne. Is it going to be what they need? We will find out here. As right now, Sonya having to take a little bit of a rotation, a slowing, oh, a nice little dodge there. Nice little slow from White Mane, keeping Sonya sustained. There's the whirlwind, dodging stun after stun after stun, and Sonya tanking through this, stays alive from the 4-man gank. What a beautiful escape by this Sonya player. Very nicely done. And they are able to keep themselves alive for the moment. Now, immediately to Poco. Wanting to gain some value for TheOne here. They quickly move onto this mercenary camp, and they're going to begin burning that down. But surprise, a noob has them rumbled. Are they going to have a rotation in? No, this was just harassment, giving time for Ashbringer and 365 to grab their own mercenary camp. And time for Sonya to push this lane up. Sonya even going for this camp. This is going to give time for the rest of the team to rotate down, and this will allow them to grab it. They're going to get the double camp play here. Great news for them. Sylvanas, she did use her black arrows there, her black arrow trait, in order to grab that camp. And as such, it will not be available to disable this one, but she still already does a fair amount of siege damage. Sonya rotating in, a little bit of poke using the AoE from that seismic slam. Forcing Tupoko back a bit. Looks for the CC, just gets a stun of Warbreaker instead. They found Tyrael, but it's Tyrael. He teleports away. No trouble, no harm, no foul. Malthael rotating, using that on a pale horse against Mal'Ganis here as they both rotate back and forth throughout the lane. Quick harassment though, preventing the rotation a little bit with that sleep and demounting Mal'Ganis here, so both harassing each other. Unstable poison coming in for Sylvanas at level 4. So any minions that die under the effect of Shadow Dagger or Sylvanas' trait explode. So extra wave clear coming in for Sylvanas. Very sensible. She is basically the best wave clear on her team, closely followed by Mal'Ganis. So a little bit of extra ability in that front. It's going to be so useful. So really nice to see them adjusting their builds like that. Tyrande assisting once again. Continuous harassment coming in onto the mercenary camp, as is happening on the other side as well, but they've already capped it. Nice delay coming in here. 365, waiting until the optimum moment to catch this. This is great to see. The Owl, though, will show that this is happening and even does demount 365, as he does finish off the camp with 5 seconds to go. That will be enough time for it just to head into lane as the objective finishes up. Garrosh says hello to everyone, does not land the Warbreaker though. But this is going to give time for a 4-man group up for CE to begin on this point. We're going to be seeing a throwing shade coming in from Malthael here. Very interesting to see how effective this will be, but it makes sense. The triple tank, if you can get the consistent harassment on that, you could do some great work. I personally maybe would have preferred the Black Harvest again with the triple tank. You could have got so much damage with that. But this gives him potentially a better bit of engage potential with the extra range. So this is going to maybe give him a better chance of getting onto those 2 squishy backliners, as everyone else is pretty sustaining in the front line. A little bit of damage coming in from the White Mane as Sonya, it continues to do Sonya things. And this is going to be a CE Punisher. No questions about it. We're going to be seeing a Lost Soul coming in, so even more wave clear coming in for Sylvanas. Level 7 is hit a little bit quicker by TheOne, but not by much. Celestial Attunement, removing Suns and Silences, very sensible. Got to keep that Mal'Ganis alive, keep him going. And Touch of Death, anti-healing, going to be so good here. Follow-up stun with the Impale, not enough to stop Sylvanas using that Haunting Wave. Tyrael, unfortunately, is not in vision of the Punisher. So the Punisher instead aggroes onto Tyrande. She's the one who gets taken out. The Punisher puts pressure onto the lane, doing as much damage as it can. Sylvanas and Tyrande doing their jobs, but they're actually going to try and dive past here, looking for their opportunity. But with the quick intercession, it is completely shut down and not able to get any value. I am going to pause very quickly because someone just knocked on my door and rang my doorbell. So I'm going to quickly check to make sure my housemate has got that. So be right back, everyone. My apologies. And I'm back. Sorry, my housemate does have it. For those asking, I don't know if they are new players or not. I could only assume that, because a couple of them have changed their names who are actual familiar players, like Lies and Luckily is now Luckily Boy. I assume that if I had to guess, I would assume that they are mostly the usual players, but they are running under their Chinese names because they're not on a tournament realm. That would be my assumption. So, let us once again hit play and get back underway. Mercenaries being picked up by CE. Ashbringer is making the most out of that. He's gone for the Behemoth armor, actually, at level 4, which we completely missed. And it's only up to 5 stacks. Not a huge amount, but it's getting there. Any damage is good damage. That throwing shade. That cooldown and range increase will be so good when he has the chance. But he needs to stack it up beforehand. Currently only on 4. Currently rotating up to top to meet up with his brother Tyrael. See how much he can do up there. In the meantime, with Mercenaries taken by both sides, the Impalers poking away, Mal'Ganis will assist with this, Tyrael rotating down to help, and Sylvanas only just returning from base. So far, not a single kill available in this game, and experience pretty even, so it's getting quite close so far. Neither team able to grab a really secure advantage, but the structure damage is so far a little bit in favor of CE, as you can see here. The majority of their stuff is alive, whereas TheOne are having some issues. Whirlwind clears up the lane. Garrosh moves in, but he does not land it. There's the toss. They're going to try and get Sonya, but she just whirlwinds herself out of here, but she's eating a huge amount of damage from Sylvanas. Great damage here. But here comes a new haunting wave, though. Says absolutely not. And Sylvanas is able to keep herself alive here. Tyrande very nearly was able to get herself caught out as well, but she sustains as best as she can. Now then, Nubarak pulls back, making so he doesn't get caught out of position. Garrosh also doesn't want to get caught out here as he's already down to half health. And yes, that armor will stack up, but obviously safety first. You don't want to get yourself caught out if you don't have to. Sylvanas cleans up the minions as best she can with the tower already taking some damage. Next objective is still quite a ways away. It will be here, and this is why we're seeing CE put so much pressure onto this bot lane to try and gain some control there. Ashbringer ate a little bit of damage, but is mostly still fine. It's level 10 is available for both teams. A last rights coming in, of course, for the Malthael. There is no burst protection against that here, so it's going to be great to see the value. Scarlet Aegis, the Cocoon, coming in as well. A Hyperion, going to be fantastic. Mal'Ganis is holding. Oh my. Wailing Arrow coming in. Starfall, consistent stuff on this side. But I'm really curious, could Mal'Ganis be going for the other heroic here for that Dark Conversion? I really hope so, because it will be our first time seeing it so far, as we see Tyrael hovering around the area, waiting for his opportunity to maybe dive in and put on some pressure. But Sylvanas making the most as the Black Arrow trait active, keeping everything disabled. You can see adjusting aggro, keeping everything disabled for as long as possible. Oh man, Mal'Ganis still holding here. And I think the idea here is if you Dark Conversion when you're about to get last righted, you could save yourself here. But you could also maybe save yourself if you dropped the Carrion Swarm. It's an interesting theory. I'm curious to see how it goes. Man, if only you could Dark Conversion an ally. Can you imagine if you did that and saved them from last rights? That'd be really cool, like took the amount of damage they had, but no, not in this case. So we see the extra damage. No, it's Carrion Swarm. Alright. We had hope and we had a dream, but speaking of dreams, CE's dream is to kill this bot lane. As they push in using the Beetles for the tanking, Punisher already available, throws and Punisher on the board. Level 13 though, creeping a little bit closer for TheOne. As they push in this top lane, they're going to be able to take down the fort first. They're going to sacrifice bottom fort for it, before the Punisher even arrives. Doesn't do any damage at all. But the rest of the lane is pushing in as best as it can. Doing what it can, and let me find out if someone is in the chat. Nope, doesn't. As we see Sonya whirlwinding away, taunt used onto Sonya, preventing that whirlwind, preventing the sustain. She gets knocked up with the Starfall, raining in the pain, but it's not enough. Sonya able to pull back, barely clutch sustained from 365 as Mal'Ganis wades forward looking for his opportunity. Ashbringer has nowhere to run, even a Nubarak abandons him, even a Nubarak can't help him here. As he pulls back, there's a Holy Ground trying to stop a Nubarak escaping, but it's too late. So they're able to pull back to freedom. In the meantime, Alufal holds the lane. He's grabbed more XP. Let's have a quick look at his stacks. We're seeing 0 on Last Rite, still only 5 on Throwing Shade. He's so far away here. And this Reyna, a little bit of action potentially here. This Reyna only on 13 stacks of the Behemoth armor. Durana's not having much better luck though, with only 2 on Lunar Blaze. And of course we have the 13 on Warbreaker. Taunt onto a noob. Can they finish him off before he burrow charges away? He has the subterranean shields, but they're still chasing him down. The intercession is used, but Whitemane is doing everything she can to heal this and keep him alive, but it's not enough. Here comes the Last Rites, completely denied by Sanctification, and the One dominated that fight. But the fact is, a noob lived. They were able to keep a Nubarak alive and burn out a Sanctification. That is a huge back and forth for both of these teams. Now let's see if they can keep it going. This camp being stolen away. Garrosh knows it's happening. Can't even get a stack though. As Sonya comes over the wall looking for her opportunity. They look onto Tyrael. Not able to get it. That does not do it, by the way. As we see them pushing in, trying to gain value, doing as much as they can. Toss onto Sonya again, but they're only tossing Sonya into the backline. She just hits Whirlwind and dives back. A beautiful play, though, coming in with this Carrion Swarm, trying to get the damage output, but it's not enough. Once again, the Wailing Arrow, not enough even to finish them off. 365 is so low on mana, but gets the heal thanks to the self-healing and mana with that level 1 Clemency, keeping them going. And another disengage coming in here. And Control-Shift-O, you say? Yes, Control-Shift-O does it. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Yes, I accidentally hit Control-O and missed the shift. But we did it. Thank you very much, E-Styles, for the suggestion. Now then, Alufal once again back into lane, soaking as much experience for his team as possible. We have 10 stacks now on Throwing Shade, but continuous denial for Last Rites. No stacks of that yet. But in the meantime, another couple stacks were picked up for Lunar Blaze here during that fight. Really cool to see. And as such, this is great news for the One. They're still holding this together. More stacks is good news. Getting any extra damage to try and blow people up is going to be big because until we get those Scarlet Aegises out, there's only so much Whitemane can do against immediate burst. Boko very sensible, scouting the bush, not getting himself caught out. More Shadow Daggers coming in here. The Cold Embrace, armor reduction, even more burst coming out here. And that is a big deal because once again, Tyrande is kind of the only damage here. Sorry, Sylvanas is kind of the only damage, although Tyrande does add at least a little bit with that Starfall. But it's all up to Sylvanas to actually blow someone up. And so far, it has been successful in their 1-0 in terms of kill counts, but they are down a fort. But let's see what they can do here. Next objective is spawning. They're on even talents. They have everyone here except for Mal'Ganis, who is very close by, as the same is true for CE. This could be an intense game-deciding fight here if they're able to. If CE are able to get this, they could maybe push it and grab a keep and put too much pressure on. If either team is able to gain a level advantage due to a couple kills in this, it could be severe as they begin to push forward. Mal'Ganis diving forward, gets rooted, keeping himself alive for the moment, though drops to sleep onto the backline, onto Sonya as Ashbringer is also dropping low as Garrosh finds him. They're looking for the blow-up. Sanctification is dropped with the taunt, trying to finish him off. Ashbringer goes down, but Malthael is diving forward, carrying Swarm to the backline of 365. They chase him down as well. As Sonya is doing everything she can to hold this together. A noob dives in. It's 18-12. A noob has bitten off way more than he can chew here, but they've managed to drop everyone low. Tyrael is dropping down into the frame, and he's going to not die to the poison. Quick shield, keeping him alive. But Alufal is causing chaos in the backline. Last Rites takes out Tyrael, but can they get Tyrande as well as Garrosh is causing too much pressure? Alufal eats too much damage. He's dropping low on health here. Gets slept. They chase him down. Sylvanas, the main damage dealer, is still raining in the pain. Chases chases down the Malthael here, unable to finish the job. 365 getting chased down. Are they able to finish the job this time? Yes, they are. 365 goes down, making it a 2 for 2 here as they keep going. Sonya is still trying to steal this away. It's 37-29. A noob comes in for the final skeletons. They're trying to steal this away. CE trying to keep him alive. The double sleep. Tupo goes too low, but the Punisher is stolen. Sonya goes down. A noob retreats, but the Punisher is stolen away by CE. As they begin to push in, stuns. This is terrible news. Tupogo doesn't want to get caught there. He gets blown up. I can't believe he got caught out there. He should have rotated a bit higher. He goes down, and CE, a fantastic time for a kill. They're going to move in here and try and grab themselves this keep. And Lufel is alive again, pushing in the top lane, gaining any value he can. But this Punisher pulled over the wall, but with the beetles of a noob and the damage of Reyna, they're going to be able to take down pretty much this entire front wall before there's anything that can be done about it by TheOne trying to deal with this Punisher. Down goes the front wall, Keep is weakened, and with that, CE creep ahead. They creep out a small lead here. Consistent pressure now onto this lane, no catapults, but it's always at risk. If they lose one more fight, this is where they're going to get in trouble. As we see Reyna and Ashbringer and Lufel and 365 pulling back, not getting themselves caught out, but the lane will be cleaned up nice and quickly. Sylvanas is here once again, so they have that wave clear. Let's have a look at the stacks after that fight, because that was intense. Have a guess. Throwing Shade is stacked, and finally we saw Last Rites land there, able to finish off Tyrael at the end of that fight. Durana's on to 10 stacks, so that is something as well. And everyone else is starting to look real good in terms of the stacking process. They're diving in once again onto Garrosh, who's dropped the Indomitable, but he's still eating damage. Sonya diving forward. There's the quick taunt. Can they finish off Sonya? Yes, they can. Beautiful job. That was the one-man Wailing Arrow, though, so it's no longer available. That's a huge part of damage for them. They pop the cocoon as the rest of CE is looking to escape into the fray. Used on Tirana, trying to get the stun. They land it onto Aluminum as they give chase, but they can't chase anyone down, and everyone in CE is able to get into the base. Everyone came down for that little scuffle there, but it's only Sonya who goes down. But that's such a big move here by TheOne. They've managed to put themselves ahead in terms of experience, given themselves the bat pressure that they need, and now they're grabbing mercenaries, cleaning out the lanes, and creeping their way towards that level 20. Exactly the same as what Lufel is doing right now for his team, trying to move up to top lane and grab any experience for his team possible, and try and grab any of the lane, try and grab level 20, at least shortly after TheOne. Unless, of course, they can pick up a quick and easy kill. Root onto Tyrael here. Once again, making use of that harsh discipline. Speed boost from Tyrael onto Garrosh. Lands the taunt. He's in trouble, though, dropping a lot of health. There's the shield from Tyrael. And Nubarak didn't stand a chance there. Cocoon is popped from Tyrande. And TheOne have turned this around in their favor. In comes Mal'Ganis. They don't just want this fort. They want more kills. Mal'Ganis chasing deep onto Whitemane. Instead, turns it around onto Sonya, who is once again the target with the cold embrace on it, trying to chase her down with Tyrael not available. There is no sanctification, and Sonya is taken out again. Malthael just escapes too after getting blocked in by a Holy Ground. But what a good play here coming in. Great sustain, great saving, great engages coming in from TheOne, turning what was looking like a rough game into a bit of a lead. And with this, they're able to take down this middle fort. They're going to be in a great position to start on this objective. And with 35 seconds left on Sonya, she's going to be 15 seconds away by the time the objective spawns. And they're probably going to be able to grab their Impalers here as well. Probably not their Shamans unless they play a little bit more passively, which they could do in theory. You have Celestial Wrath as well for even more percentage damage. So much extra value here. And this is basically the saving grace for CE right now. This extra mercenary camp pushing the top lane is going to give them any kind of extra protection they need. Any kind of extra pressure, which this is the last remaining fort. The last lane with 0 catapults in it. It might pull some aggro, especially if CE do this. If they bring everyone, this is basically going to give TheOne a decision. They can either move up here and try and prevent this fort going down, the last lane with no catapults in it, or they can grab this as quick as they can, maximize their wave clear, time it with this mercenary camp, and just try and go for a death push in bot. Look at this. CE, they think they've pulled aggro up to this top lane. They're going to try and wait and hope there is a rotation here. Mal'Ganis says hello to Sonya. It's not enough immediately. Malganis pulls back, but that forces CE to show. That's potentially devastating news here if they're not careful. And look at this, CE, they know they have to pull the trigger. They're going to grab a second set of Fallen Shamans here. They want to push this top lane. They want any kind of counter pressure because they know if they can port back, oh my god, they're going for it. They are going to try and force the ports by going for keep. But if they do this, the question is, do the one port? If the one don't port, they can maybe get a keep and maybe core. Oh no, they have to port. They have to port. Catapult is down. Catapults are down. Catapults are in. Sorry, keep is down. So now it's up to Malganis to stop the ports. Because if he can stop the ports without dying, he might be able to save his team the game. But no, they're all pulling back. They've realized they've managed to bait CE maybe a little bit too far here. They're pulling back in. Malthael gets the port back, but that makes this a 4 versus 5. 4 versus 4. Sorry, Tyrell didn't make it back either. Now, can they chase him down? Oh my god, Tyrell's coming in from the other side. He just completely missed them. He's looking for Whitemane. He didn't get it. He missed the angle here, and the Cocoon has stopped Garrosh chasing down, and CE will escape this with Malthael already dropping percentage damage onto this Punisher. This keep will go down, but CE might have saved themselves the game here, as long as they don't get caught out of position. In the meantime, Fallen Shaman still pushing this top lane, still gaining value, still looking for an opportunity. Armor is being removed. Cold Embrace onto a noob. He is just trying to buy time, gets blocked in by the Holy Ground, but him dying right now is huge. They need to be able to defend this. Punisher is down. This is going to be a 4 versus 5 to defend the core of CE. They toss in Sonya. They taunt Sonya. They delete Sonya. They cannot sustain through this as CE pull back, armor reduction being dropped, the triple sleep with the level 20 upgrade to the Carrion Swarm, and with that, Raider is trying to ping in damage, trying to keep us alive. Alupo comes in, double toss, and it's a huge deletion. Shut down the defense of CE, and the one are gonna take game number 1 to Poco. Says you don't get to defend, you step up, we smash you down. And that is going to be game number 1 going to TheOne. Great turnaround, fantastic reactions there to that potential core call coming in from CE. Very effectively done. Let me change the score, and I will give you guys a let me give you guys an end screen. There you go. These are the talents. You can see that Malthael, he did do Throwing Shade. He didn't then go for the Death Curtain. He went for None Can Stop Death to sort of try and get any kind of counterplay at the end of the game there. Sonya, standard build, Hurricane plus Life Funnel, a little bit of extra sustain as best she could there. With, of course, No Escape is an interesting one, but Nerves of Steel plus Ignore Pain is a classic here. Purge the Wicked, of course. The extra bit of just quick burst damage, which is a really interesting talent. I wouldn't have minded, like, the cleanse, considering how much CC is on the other side, but it was too late by the time it came out. And we have the Execute for Reyna. But yeah, that's game number 1. You can see the stacks here. Let's have a look at the damage numbers. 3 to 12 in terms of kills. CE, they nearly did it. They nearly were able to outsmart their opponents there, but it didn't work out. You can see the damage numbers at the end here. Reyna still able to do the most damage for his team. Malthael catching it up a little bit, though. Sonya doing a good job, too. And then, of course, on the other side, Sylvanas, the only damage dealer, did pretty solid work. 59,000 here and 154,000 siege damage. Only person above her is Malthael, who spent the entire lane sieging. So really cool to see here. And of course, Garrosh, he did his job perfectly. So many jobs. 12 assists involved in every single kill. To Poco, solid job. Really nice to see. All right, let me set up the next replay for you all. And head back. We'll set up another set of games. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm still a little bit ill. So yeah, once again, I'm having to set this up in a really weird way. It's quite fun. Every time I have to load a new replay, I have to close heroes in order to make it work. Because my method is a little bit messy. There we go. Alright. Alright, well that loads up. Let's have a look at the follows and stuff that happened outside of the game. We were up to, I think last time, Captain Riggs. So we have Tiras25, thank you for the follow. Gfitzy, thank you very much for the follow. Norzon T, thank you for the follow. Lurorio, thank you for the follow. Woolly Mam, thank you for the follow. Fat and Neil, thank you for the follow. Giosol, thank you for the follow. Dude MH, thank you for the follow. Balman GG, thank you for the follow. And Christ042 and Eminem Hitman, thank you very much all for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Alright, let me make sure they haven't swapped sides. They have not. Wonderful. That is good news for me. Let's use the new button combo we just learned to remove the replay timer. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. And Ran the Heartman, thank you very much for the follow. Alrighty. So, I hope everyone's having a good time today. This is definitely not what I expected to do today, but I'm really glad I chose to do it. It's so nice to be back into casting. And technically best HGC, China best HGC region now. So, yeah. Alrighty, so, who's ready for some more Chinese HGC esports from 2019? This patch, I believe. But either way, let's just do it. Let's get this underway. Let's make this black screen disappear and actually show the game. Click, 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 click. Give it 3, 2, 1. There we go. Did it. Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 of our third series of the day between Challenge and TheOne from the HGC China Gold Series Division Finals. So, let's get this underway by introducing you to the two teams. Spawning on the left-hand side, currently down a game. If they lose this, they are going to lose this series. It is Challenge, aka CE, with Tyrael, Alooful on the Falstad, Ashbringer on the Valor, 365 on the Brightwing, and Dahaka. They are CE. And on the right-hand side, it is going to be TheOne. And playing for them, we have Mal'Ganis, we have the Zeratul, we have Tyrande, we have Reyna, and we have Tupoku playing on the Muradin. They are TheOne. And starting off immediately, a Q build Valor on Dragonshire. That's really interesting to see. Going for just that mobility and trying like a quick burst build that the Q build does offer. We have the Seasoned Marksman coming in for the Falstad. We have Exterminator coming in for Reyna. Quick wave clear being potentially offered here. And Zeratul with Greater Cleave, the standard build. And as such, TheOne, they went for the quick 5-man group up, hoping to find someone out of position and a quick kill. And they might still, if Stormbolt lands, it does, but they decide not to dive. But CE, they decided they didn't want to fight. They wanted to avoid any kind of immediate brawl. And they immediately split up into lanes. As such, no one is dying at this early stage. Quick drag being landed here, keeping everything safe and sound, at least Dahaka, as Mal'Ganis cleans up the lane. Once again, Mal'Ganis does win this lane pretty easily for the moment, as the pressure is applied to the bot lane. Quick retreat out of Reyna. Doesn't want to get himself caught out of position. Stormbolt misses Alooful, but the closing in of Zeratul is a bit dangerous. Not enough, though. Falstad even able to drop some great counter damage onto Tupoku here. Going to have to force that trait to activate and keep him alive. Dahaka is still having a pretty reasonable time. It's so rough to be in that lane. As we see Vala, Ashbringer, cleaning up this mercenary camp, grabbing a set of Siege Giants to counteract the ones of TheOne. And once we hit she already has the extra damage to PvE with that Monster Hunter. We'll see if that build continues. It might just be this level 1 talent. We don't know if she'll follow the entire build. Reyna needs a little bit of poke damage, but everything is fine for the moment. Mal'Ganis, dueling 1v1 against Falstad, but Dahaka is nearby. Mal'Ganis has to be careful how far forward he's willing to step. Alooful just going to continue the duel. Valor has been sniped in the bot lane as Dahaka has tunneled down here. It looks like they're going to try and make the play. Dahaka's regretting his decisions, eating shot after shot after shot from Reyna as Tupoku chases him down. Looks for his opportunity with the stun, trying to focus. Dahaka stun lands. The essence, though, keeps him alive. Zeratul was trying to steal this away, sneaking it away in the mid lane, but he's forced to back up thanks to Tyrael. And with a teleport from Brightwing, Mal'Ganis is prevented from holding on to top, and this is going to neutralize the Dragon Knight. At least for the moment, Tyrael also is able to back away without getting finished off. Now then, Vala. Already rotating in. She is going for Puncturing Arrows. So this is a full Q build. The Unstable Anomaly coming in here. Not going for the reset, though. Sticking with Hyper Shift. So quite cool to see here. Not going for like the quick blow-up reset composition we saw a bit at BlizzCon. Alufal hovers around the area, doesn't want to get killed by Zeratul, who is struggling at least a little bit to sustain the minions. But he does sustain for the moment. Red get the double cap again. Tyrael is still here, guarding away at this. Malthael is waiting for his opportunity, but doesn't want to get caught out as the Bersery camp is captured. Falstad will deny anything from being taken away here, but Mal'Ganis, he's still here, but does he know he's being closed in on? He does now. Falstad coming in from the side. Needs to land the slow with the Hammerang. He does, but it's not close to a kill yet. A stack, though, is acquired by Valor. 4 members up here, but it's all about those globals. 3 globals on the side of CE to try and keep control of this match. We see the pressure from TheOne, though, making the most of this bruiser camp they stole in the bot lane to already take down both towers, and Dahaka cannot hold this for the moment, but counter push with their own bruiser camp. CE realizing that Dahaka is about to get stomped and that Falstad is dead. They have to make something happen in this top lane, and they will take down both towers, but that's going to be all they're going to be able to do. They have to leave. Brightwing was thinking about the teleport, but Dahaka is in serious trouble here as everyone else is getting closed in on as well. Tupoko is in trouble. Dahaka will escape here, but Valor, they found Tupoko out of position, chasing him down, looking for a quick kill here, but with no CC, they're not able to finish the job. As the top minion wave was finished off, and Mal'Ganis, is easily going to be able to finally take this back. As Falstad and the no hit point Dahaka, that is so brave, he's going to die. No, he burrows, he stays alive. Dahaka with the save. I was sure he was giving his life there for the kill on Reyna, but no, with a quick burrow at the end. Keeps himself going, keeps him alive, and they are able to stay in this match, capping bot and preventing a Dragon Knight going over to TheOne. Mal'Ganis, though, every time, still staying alive in this top lane, still keeping the pressure on, doing his best Chen impression, just keeping pushing top lane. But here comes 355 and Ashbringer, even Tyrael from the side, looking for their opportunity to push him down, but will force him to back up. Mal'Ganis pulls away. We see Zeratul, quick cap on bot lane, keeps everything going there. They're grabbing some Siege Giants as well for even extra pressure. Mal'Ganis with quick wave clear, with quick mercenary camp clear, finally leaving top lane for like the first time this game. But Tyrael sees it happening. How aggressive does he want to do? He has Falstad near him. He could teleport this. No, he lets it go. Lets it go. Decides against it. And as such, this will be the bruiser camp coming in here uncontested. Because CE still grabbed theirs quite a while ago. They still have a minute to go. And this Merc camp, half done. Not finished off yet. Zeratul is zoned away. Doesn't want to get caught out with Brightwing. But he does have Wormhole now, so he needs to be careful of when to use it so it doesn't get polymorphed. Double channel for CE, immediately cancelled by Tirana in the top lane, and potentially by Mal'Ganis in the bot lane. Holding it together, gonna start firing away at Dahaka. Who is going to rotate into help? Because whoever does might be able to make the play here. In comes the teleport, polymorph onto Muradin, as this turns into a 4 versus 2, trying to chase down Mal'Ganis. Not enough for a blow-up, but more stacks being applied to Valor, who's on 7 now with that puncturing arrow. Tissue regeneration is up to 6 here. And so far, 11 stacks on Stormbolt. Still has a little bit of a ways to go there. But with this control, it is good news for TheOne, who have to... They force Alufal to use the Gust there, but suddenly, Muradin from the side, able to pick up the kill. They want Dahaka as well. He's burned Essence, but with the Stormbolt down, they can't do it. They're running out of minions here, but this fort will be sacrificed. How much can Valor and Brightwing get in this bot lane in exchange to make this into a 1-for-1? They push in as far as they can. Zeratul eats the hit from the tower, but they move in further. Tupoko, he's just mirroring his move from seconds ago. Good burrow to dodge the Lunar Flare. Here comes Brightwing. Emerald Wind says absolutely not. They get the drag. Can they make something happen with this? No. Tupoko jumps away. They're about to run out of minions, but the fort goes down. Tupoko escapes with not too much difficulty. VP now available. I'm curious to see what combo they can really land with that. We finally have a Dark Conversion game coming in from Mal'Ganis. He's already used it. I assume that was on Tyrael a little bit ago. Now then, Muradin. Oh no, poor Falstad. Poor Falstad. He was trying to clear the lane. He's used Gust. Can he get away? He's got to burrow. He's going to fly. Falstad! Oh, he got it with the cleave. What a beautiful play. Falstad trying to fly away. Cleave at max range, picking up the kill. And that is good news for TheOne as they quickly rotate. Looking for an opportunity. Malganis dropping low. Dark Conversion not off cooldown. And this fort about to go down. But he is being in a little bit of a rough position. Duboko gets absolutely outplayed. Tyrael says, see you later, and disappears. Looking for another opportunity to maybe port back and get some health. Brightwing sneaking away this objective as well. Gets the Sunshine, and that will prevent the Dragonite yet again. 4 kills to 2 in favor of TheOne right now. And the reason he didn't fly right, if he'd flown right, he would have flown into potentially into forts or minions and put himself in a risky position. Like maybe here he could have got away with, but it made more sense for him to try and fly down to give himself a safe escape position. But the cleave was literally max range. If Zeratul had been a little later or a little early, he would have missed. So it was literally just perfectly done by the Zeratul player. Now then, Reyna continues to push in. He decides it's a bad idea and leaves. Pulls back. Finally, a double cap. Can anyone stop it this time? No. Finally, first Dragonite of the game being picked up by Zeratul of TheOne. They push into mid lane as bot lane, similar to the first series we saw of the day, has already died. Here comes the pressure. Already focusing down, Ashbringer goes for a journey. Brightwing arrives, quick shield and burst healing applied to Falstad, allowing him to stay in this push a little bit longer. Dragonite, though, eating the damage, but it will easily take down this fort. But look at the pressure being applied here. Valor with the aggressive moves forward, and Falstad with a couple hammerangs with that boomerang of his own. Valor still not with the self-sustain yet, but that is a great amount of burst that she can offer, especially if she continues to stack like she has been doing, currently up to 15 stacks of Punch Ring Arrow. So is approaching that critical mass of burst. And of course, once you hit that Siphoning Arrow, you will gain even more sustain. So then, Tupoko lands the stun, not enough to stop Tyrael from escaping, but Malganis decides that he might be, denied by the Rain of Vengeance. Ashbringer completely shuts down that attempt. In the meantime, Alufal continues to split push the top lane, keeps everything alive, and they're still a little bit more sustained. Now then, we see Alufal holding everything for the moment in the top lane, but he will need to fly for his team. Drag onto Muradin. Do they have the damage? Valor just eats it from Zeratul, but he wormholes back. Starfall being used as a zoning tool here. Falstad arriving from the other side. He has Gust. Too late to use it to try and secure the camp, though, with Starfall expiring. Tyrael's beginning to creep forward. Are they going to try and make the play? He might have to with Sleep being used. Luna, Flare, Sank, keeps them just alive. Emerald Wind into the Q of Brightwing as they chase them forward. There's the Dark Conversion onto Dahaka. He's eating so much damage as Tyrael has to use Sword of Justice to teleport away. Valor's dying to the Hyperion, but she stays alive. Zeratul, the only member to fall here, with VP still up, unable to get the angle, but that Emerald Wind with the Sank just in time to keep Valor alive allowed them to drop enough damage and enough CC to finish off that Zeratul. In the meantime, Muradin just continues to gain stacks. He's already up to 18, doing a fantastic job here, keeping himself going, as Tyrande might want to try and creep her way in. We're seeing if she wanted a follow-up CC once Muradin had Stormbolt back. Not able to get it this time. CE, though, trying to take position on the map. They're still down a level here and are about to be down a talent, so they were looking to see if they could grab anyone at all at this opportunity to try and get themselves back in terms of the XP here. Recaptured here on terms of this mercenary camp. And CE, they're still a little bit behind. They need to get back in this. Remember, if they lose, this is the series. They lose the series. They've got to turn this around. They need to get some points on the board on this bracket. The Gust is used only on one member on Tyrande here, but it's enough. Everyone else able to pull back. But it's time to go to sleep. And Stormbolt Murder looking for the Brightwing. They get her. VP used on his own team, but they got it. They got the kill. Brightwing gets completely wiped, taking some horrible Emerald Nightmares. But in the meantime, Dahaka snuck to top lane, recaptured this, buying his team some time. But what's he going to do? His team's still members down. He ports back to base, but what's he do from here? He's going to use a global, try and teleport in. Oh, regrets. Oh, regrets. He burrows in. Here comes his team. Isolation onto Muradin. Can they finish him off? Sanctification for the turnaround. Dahaka's eating so much damage, but Raider just gets wiped here. Great turnaround by CE. Being a member down into a quick double kill. Zeratul, quick damage being dealt there. Valor is going to chase down Zeratul here, doing crazy damage. But that's going to be enough. That delay, Polymorph for good measure, is going to allow CE to grab their first Dragonite of the game. This is such a huge deal. There's a Bruiser Camp pushing in top lane that will have to be dealt with, but having this will allow them to push in mid lane, grab themselves a little bit more XP, and this has already brought them up even on talents. This has already put them in a great position because Falstad still has this global. He can still rotate and rejoin the rest of the team and turn this into a 5v4, currently 3 if at any point they try to fight, but everyone is respawning, so it would be a 5v5. Tupoko is in a very risky position. He's surrounded on all fronts. Drops the stun onto Brightwing, but he's being chased down. Dragonite disengages Mal'Ganis, but Tupoko able to escape. He's gone for Dwarf Launch. Keeps himself safe this time. We see the Dragonite, Dahaka inside it, moving into bot lane. This is, of course, the lane that is most common to end the game through. This is why their attention has been remade to this. Look at how far Alufal pulls back his rotation. He doesn't want to rotate through mid for exactly this reason. Someone could be waiting here for him. Someone could be hunting him. He's playing this so sensibly, so safe, he says as he walks into that. Finally spots Muradin. He was trying to get to his team here with 3 members showing. Now they know Muradin is there. They were able to put a little bit of pressure onto Mal'Ganis. Oh, Falstad. He finds Muradin, or Muradin finds him. Zeratul does some good damage as well. The Dragonite expires, and everyone is going to pull back, keeping themselves alive. They move in, clearing up the mercenaries as quick as they can, but Mal'Ganis moving in, the one. They want to take a fight here. They're still ahead in experience. Peekaboo sees everything except for Zeratul here, who still has VP. He could try and make a quick play here. He moves in. Void Prism on 2 members. Mal'Ganis is in position. Starfall being dropped in advance. Isolation is too late. Great damage, but the Gust. Oh no, that's way too much overlap. CE burning 3 big cooldown heroics for that. Burning the Gust, the Sank, and the Emerald Wind when only one of them was really required. The miscommunication beginning to show here as they are able to disengage though, so they are alive, but now they can't really afford to fight for a while. But on the bright side, they did avoid a Hyperion, a Starfall, and they did burn the VP for it. Now then, with the advantage that they now have on the map, we immediately see TheOne trying to steal away this mercenary camp. They have full control to do it, they have full space, and they have the tools to be able to turn around a fight if CE choose to engage them. Rain of Vengeance is not enough to take this fight alone. Now then, Tupoko pulling back, avoiding getting himself in position, getting himself caught out of position. Zeratul hanging around as well. Emerald Wind is about to come back off cooldown, as is Isolation. This is going to be what is going to allow CE to take fights. Their cooldowns are long, but not as long as the ones here when it comes to big fight cooldowns. Hyperion's not going to be up for a while, neither is Void Prison. The only thing that CE won't have is Sanctification. Emerald Wind having to be used early again, though, but plenty of time, popping the Emerald Wind, and immediate teleport out. 365, keep himself alive, but yet another cooldown forced to be burned here. And this is giving more time for TheOne to get their cooldowns back. Starfall's back, 20 seconds till Hyperion, 11 until the Void Prism. Still a little bit messy. They clear up the mercenaries. Getting more Siege Giants into this bot lane, which will combine with the Bruiser Camp. Good job by TheOne. And they're actually looking to hit level 20 first here. Still quite a bit ahead in experience. Grabbing another Bruiser Camp as well. They're keeping the pressure that they already hold onto the map. They hold top lane. They can send Mal'Ganis, they hold bot lane, sorry. They can send Mal'Ganis up to top lane, which is exactly what they're doing to get more of this. Falstad has ported down to bot lane. He knows that he could try and grab this and maybe fight Mal'Ganis a bit and use the global. He'd much rather utilize the fact that he is global to appear where he's not expected with the rest of his team and maybe try and make a play onto Tupoko, and they're trying to do so. Dropping good damage. Tiro forced him away, but in that time, the Dragonite was taken by Zeratul. Can they make the defense? This is all or nothing for CE right now to try and bring themselves back into this series. 1-0 down already. They move behind their walls. It's all about that defense. Stormbolt only lands on Valor. The Swift Retribution is applied to most of the team, though. Valor again eating the damage. Hyperion for the siege potential. They're forcing their way through this wall. Harsh Moonlight again onto Valor, who's eating everything right now. Every bit of CC, every bit of poke. Alufal is hovering around in mid lane, soaking themselves to 20. They finally hit 20. This is CE's chance. Haka almost gets taken out. The cleanse from Brightwing as the keep goes down. How much further are TheOne willing to push? Little bit further, but no, they back up. The Siege Giant, they decide not to try and end the game with this. They know CE have 20s as well. They know they have all their heroics. They just back it up. They don't want to get themselves caught out of position. They're so far, they're in such a good position right now. They don't want to throw this away. They know they have their heroics except for Hyperion and Starfall now, so they're actually down in terms of teamfight potential. They'd much rather just use the health ball of this Dragon Knight, use the Fire Breath, take more structures. That's the plan. That's the objective until they can maybe force a mistake out of CE. And that's all. They back up. Very sensible. They could have tried to make an end play with the Dragon Knight, but it would have been so risky. You're against a Gust. You're against a Sank. You're against an Emerald Wind. Yeah, the Dragon Knight would be able to hit the core, but there's only so much you can do with that, especially with all the damage it took in the initial push. They're happy with what they got. They got a keep. They opened up a wall. They weakened a fountain. They are in the better position. It is as simple as. Now they just have to not throw it away. Don't lose. Don't take unnecessary fights. Just keep it safe until the next objective. Try and isolate someone. Your opponents like split pushing because they have globals. Turn that to your advantage. Try and grab someone if you can. And that might be what is happening. But Dahaka being sensible, rejoining the rest of his team and playing safe. CE with some fantastic map awareness. Keeping themselves sustained for the moment. Making sure that they don't get caught out. Because they know if they get caught out, it's either a keep or game, depending on how many of them get killed off. Zeratul, a little bit separate from the team, needs to be careful about that. He is kind of the engaged stuff here. You see the Sea Shines. Putting on the pressure. Mal'Ganis will be able to clear these up with a little bit of help. Look at this, Tupoko. He knows. He sees Valor. That could be the perfect target if he can bring everyone else, but it looks like they're just using this as delay to grab more Sea Giants, more pressure going over to the other side. Dahaka just continues to wait this out as best he can, waiting for his opportunity. Both these teams are so cautious right now. Neither one wants to give this up. CE knows they just have to hold this together and just kill off someone. Maybe look for a couple good team fights so they can turn this round. The Peekaboo sees so much, but not enough. They're moving in. Dahaka onto the point. This camp could be the greedy play that's needed. But no, CE, they sustain through it once again. Able to put Falstad in a good enough position to dissuade them. As the Luful hovers around, Dahaka heals up. No one wants to get caught out of position. The objective is coming up. This is what the one we're waiting for. They're going to be able to grab these. They've already got Zeratul in the top lane. All they have to do is to avoid fights and don't die. We have the Ice Blade arrows coming in for the Tyrande, by the way, so that little bit of extra slow. I'd say empowering the Rainer, but it's not. He did go for Exterminator. But they're using that to grab this camp, making mercenaries to their advantage. Tyrael says hello. This is currently a 4 versus 3 in favor of the one, but they don't realize that. Oh my god, Falstad! He's going for the play. He flies into the back line, moves forward, Gust into the wall with the wind tunnel. They're focusing onto the healer. Tyrande gets taken out with the sanctification. They turn it around onto Mal'Ganis, and CE with a beautiful play, pulling the trigger exactly when they needed it. And this is such good time for them. They don't need the Dragon Knight, but they could go for it with their globals. But right now, they've got a Bruiser camp, and they've got a 2-man advantage. This is where they can make the play. They blew every heroic for this, but they might still be able to at least get a keep and even up the kills here. They move in. The Falstad Gust play might have been exactly what they need with 30 seconds. They might be trying to go for core here with Stupoku, trying to put some damage onto the backline, but he's basically alone. They're creeping forward. They're making the play, trying to end the game here and now. Muradin has been taken out while trying to sustain. Zeratul and Rainer are all that's left. They might have to VP the core to buy some more time. Zeratul's dropping as much damage as he can, trying to keep it alive. He VPs the core, and Tyrael, he's gonna stay alive for the moment, but he needs to heal. Rainer dropping any damage he can. They've bought some time. 10 seconds till Mal'Ganis, 3 until Tyrande. Here comes the Hyperion Gust onto Zeratul, but he gets forced away with the wind tunnel. Rainer's doing so much damage, but the core is going down. Tyrande is coming out, but it is too late. And CE even up the score in a 1-1. And they're going to be taking us to a game number 3. What a beautiful way to end a game with a Falstad Mighty Gust with wind tunnel play to fly around and take a fight in a 4 versus 4 to give yourselves the lead and push in for the win. What a beautiful move. Let's have a look at the endgame stats here. You can see here, fully stacked stuff in every scenario. 65 stacks of Seasoned Marksman for the Falstad. Great to see there. And wow, really nice to see. Standard builds most of the way. I'll show you the Mal'Ganis builds as best I can, or any of the new heroes we see, who we don't see professional play that often. We see the Winged Guard again. We see Fueled by Torment. That seems to be almost the always go-to talent here. Black Claws here, the extra 45% more damage when he is able to hit them. Dark Conversion, we saw it this time. It actually did some value. We have the Deep Sleep, the lovely Alone in the Dark and Sleep value here. It's so good. And we now have the Plague Bats as well, which is nice to see. It was helping him drop some wave clear, but it wasn't enough. In this case, the Contagion at the end, but this Wind Tunnel, of course, was what they needed. Let's have a look at the damage stats. Valor, top of the damage, 4 CE, able to turn this round, able to make the plays. Dahaka didn't die once, Tyrael didn't die once. Fantastic moves by the team. But then we look on the other side, 200,000 siege damage from Zeratul. They didn't have a global, so they just had to put him into lanes, drop the cleaves, and Reyna, even with Executioner, had half of that, but still, even without Ace in the Hole, had the most hero damage. So that's really interesting to see. Very nicely done. And as such, let me change the score. Excuse me. And then we'll be heading into a game number 3, our first of the day. CE and TheOne, bringing it to us, giving us some entertaining games to cast. Let's quit the replay and get ready to load up the next one. Let's get ready for that. Oh, shoulder stretch. Yeah, Luful, best Falstad. Best Falstad HGC. That's the thing you can say properly now. It's not best of 2, it's best of 3 in this case. So we do have a game number 3. Where is that? There it is. Which is good news, because I want to see the conclusion of this. But yeah, as it currently stands, the scores are SBT and BTG. Both have 1 win under their belts each. And TheOne and CE have 0. Whoever wins this will finally have a win in the brackets in the round robin stage. So there you go. Excuse me. Ah yes, and once we've loaded in and I've got everything prepared, I'll read off the follows and the subscribers we had during that game. All right, and pause. They didn't switch sides, did they? They did not. Wonderful. Control Shift O. Wonderful. Hey, Control Shift O. There we go. Got it. All right. Let's have a look at the wonderful people. Thank you all for tuning in today. And what did we have? I think I got a... Where did I get up to? Eminem the Hitman. There we go. We had Ramzati Man with the follow. Phoenix with a follow. Thank you both very much. We have Rubicon 2207. Thank you very much for the Prime. Very appreciated. Vampire Metalhead. Thank you very much for the follow. Great name. Ice Falcon 2225. Thank you very much for the follow. Bamu 3099. Garbage Mans. Thank you very much. Zerfortaul. Thank you very much. Daniel. Thank you. Pelion. Forget My Name. Mad Pacifist. Thank you all very much for the follow. The Lousy Stoic. Thank you for the Prime. Very appreciated. Very appreciated indeed. We have Alathia. We have Arkuru. We have Oscar the Grouch. Thank you very much for the follows. Hickbike. Or Hikebike, I think. Thank you very much for the follow. Ditsk. And we have T3 Ramos 2K. Thank you very much for the follows, everyone. And the score is currently 1-1, Lolba. Hi, how are you doing? But yes, everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all enjoying today. I'm having a lot of fun. It's been so long. It's actually the first casting I've done since HGC, so it's good to be back. All right. Let me just see stuff. All right. Oh, we got one more that I wasn't paying attention to. That was a two-headed panther. There we go. Not rusty in the slightest. A little bit rusty. But it's all good because, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading in to our next game. Game number 3 of CE versus TheOne. Let's get this underway. We are heading once the screen stops being weird. Excuse me. We are heading to, there we go, Battlefield of Eternity. And, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the teams as we get into this game number 3. And sporting on the left-hand side, one game away from finally putting themselves on the board in this round-robin phase, it is going to be CE Challenge, with a Lufel on his classic Tracer, Ashbringer back on Valor, 365 on Lucio. Once again, we have Arthas, and we have a Tassadar. That's cool to see. Tassadar and Lucio with a Valor and a Tracer comp. Let's see how it goes with the solo tank Arthas. Let's see how they do. And on the right-hand side, also looking to get themselves on the board, it is TheOne with Reyna, Sergeant Hammer, Tyrande, and we have a... Who did I miss in there? We have a Tyrael, and we have Tupoko playing on the Anubarak. Let's do it! We immediately have Tass and Tracer. The Tass-Tracer combo. They're going to be the ones who chill in the top lane. Quick storm onto the tower for some harassment. And everyone else just waiting around for the moment. Siege already being dropped here to help clear the lanes. And Exterminator as well. If they're able to get Immortals here, they're going to put so much pressure on. Look at this Siege potential. How can Lucio, Arthas, and Valor take care of this? Let's find out. As mines are just filling this wall, as Hammer wrecks away at these turrets as much as he can. Moves a little bit further forward for more value, as Lucio did move him backwards. In the meantime, Tyrael is doing the best he can to try and stop a Lufel killing his towers. Oh, a Lufel very nearly bites off more than he can chew. The tower lives. Single Storm finally finishes that off, but Valor with the rotation. They look for the quick burst, but not enough to kill off Tyrael at this. For those who are asking, this is via replays. I found replays on the HTC China channel, and those are what I'm casting. They're literally from a couple days ago, though. So there you go. These are brand new games, a couple days old. This is what we're doing here. We're seeing the Tyrael already eating a fair amount of damage, but he's able to pull back. As Reyna chases onto the Tassadar, but he's able to stay alive. A Lufel backing up as well. In the meantime, Hammer is... Yeah, that's how I feel when I play against Hammer too. I know that mood. I feel you there, Arthas. As we see them moving in, Ashbringer with the quick rotation, able to get a little bit of damage. And no stacks yet, not level 4. As Tracer, with Tracer rounds, would have been able to chase down a little bit more, but decides against it. She's still up in top lane, and is going to have to help in clearing out these Impaler camps. So then, Tracer beginning to burn these down. A Lufel putting on the pressure. Tyrael just doing any wave clear he can. Extra shield, slow down the wave clear. That's what all this is about. And with the man advantage, we see the quick camp taken here by CE. As Hammer was just sitting in stealth in case anyone decided to come and say hello. Could drop a little bit of quick damage with the ambush. But CE making the most of their quicker rotations here, already starting on their mercenary camp so quickly, so early here, pre-level 4 even. Tupoko sees this is happening. Is anyone going to come join him to try and interrupt it, or is he just dissuading? Looks like dissuading is the name of the game, but he might force the leash and let this camp heal up. It heals up a little, but Lucio is in position. Valor arrives as well, and they will be able to finish this off. Reyna and Tyrande, though, excuse me, are already helping out as well, and they'll be able to grab this before the next objective spawns. CE, though, grab theirs so quickly because they're actually going to try and make a play here. Tass has already showed up. Arthas walks his way in casually, looking for the Reyna. Tracer with the poles. Boom! But it's not enough for the kill immediately, so they're going to have to fight on the point. Arthas holding the line for the moment. He's eating so much. So you see Valor vaults in, looks for Reyna, but Reyna heals up, keeping himself alive, pulling back. But it's going to be Valor the first to fall. Tyrael is going to move in for the explosion. Looks for 365, but the speed boost says no. And only a single hound is to fall. But the Shaman spawning new ones. It eats the aggro, though, and as such, this Shaman will fall very quickly. Killing off that second hound, very much working there. As we quickly see the wave clear coming out. Quick dodge by Reyna, nicely done, using that Exterminator to his advantage, using the micro. Arthas not willing to wade forward, but this is against Tracer, the only racer here, because Valor was dead. Already, though, we can see the advantage, of course, in the favor of TheOne because of that Hammer taking position. You can actually be hit by the CC here, so she needs to be careful. And also Psy Storms, also good. Haha, little boot from Lucio. Completely shuts that down. In comes a little bit of poke. Poco stays alive, moving forward. There comes the pulse bomb again. Hammer boops away, having a miserable time setting up here. Needs that level 7 as fast as possible. And 365 shuts him down again, but this time, was he too greedy? Yes, he is. Smite from Tyrael shuts him down. And Hammer will finally clean this up with the Exterminator of Reyna as well. They take that down, and they move into the middle of the map to pick up the globes. And that's going to be the first Immortal of the game, going over to TheOne. No kills acquired by CE in that fight either, which is bad news because it's an untouchable Tracer. Tracer rounds plus untouchable go for the maximum auto attack consistency here. To see how well it works. Valor also has only managed to... Oh wait, she has a stack. Good job. A stack. I completely missed when that happened, but it happened. And we also have a 2 stacks of the Puncturing Arrow and 76 of Frozen Wastes. Immortal already making it through the front wall, but Reyna raining in the pain onto both the members, Arthas and Lucio here, but Lucio with the consistent healing. Arthas is able to walk away, but the Immortal doing so much damage this fort. This might actually be a fort kill, especially with the help of Hammer, and it will. The Immortal will not make it much further, but that is a great early game push coming in here from TheOne. And that puts them in a solid lead. Tassadar has been soaking bot lane while all this is happening, to the best of his abilities. We have Kindness plating and better barbs, by the way, for a Nuvarak. Very mixed build here. And we finally have that level 7, Hover Siege, as we were asking for a while ago, finally comes in. And the Barricade at level 4, trying to create a little bit of a wall. And this is mostly to keep Arthas away. Let's see how well it works. We could actually see it used now. Micro, Stutter. Valor gaining more stacks as best she can. Psystorm, Hammer walking right into that. But Tyrande keeping Hammer sustained. This moment, even using the wall for the cooldown reduction. Look at that Barricade. Keeps Hammer out of range. Allowing, keeps Arthas out of range of Hammer. So our Hammer is able to creep forward once again. Start focusing onto that fountain. Arthas wrapping around. More Psystorms. Tyrande needs more things to hit to get that healing cooldown reduction as much as possible and keep Hammer sustained. In comes Arthas from behind, looking to maybe make a play. It's going to focus onto Reyna instead of Sergeant Hammer here. Root does not land though, but they chase it forward. In comes Alufal though, looking for the kills. Diving forward. 1 kill. Gets a nice stack for the untouchable. Arthas though was dropped so low in that as they have to pull back. In comes a noob. Hits nothing. He might have been enough more than he could chew here. Tyrael comes in, quick speed boost, and that does get Poco out of there. And that is good news for Tracer once again. Every single kill. This is good. This is an Alufal classic. Alufal loves going for this untouchable. Now on 2 stacks, he gets up to that damage, gets that ricochet later on, and gives him huge damage output. Look at Hammer's positioning here. It's so beautiful. We even see a Nubrak in position. Alufal, though, is left alone with Sergeant Hammer. The bombs, though, are taking him out. And we see TheOne picking up the mercenaries here, and they are driving back CE. It's only a small experience lead currently in favor of TheOne, but that small experience lead could get them to level 10 in a fight over an Immortal, and that's exactly what they would want here. Arthas is returning after porting back for a little bit of health, and everyone is in position. What can they make happen with this? They push further forward. Once again, more untouchable stacks for Alufal, the better, but they've lost their second fort of the game, and that's a big XP boost once again in the race to level 10, which is exactly what they want here. TheOne, they pull back to the defensive position, but Hammer gets rooted. Quick armor is dropped, but the heal from Tyrande is enough. No cleanse here. It is the Caldora resistance, because of course it does not cleanse roots, and that is the main source of CC here with Arthas. So we do not have the Celestial Attunement, Caldora resistance. Avoid some of that burst damage from Valor and Tracer here. Mercenaries being picked up for both teams. Neither one wanted to move into an aggressive position as level 10 is finally hit for TheOne. They could try and make a play with this, and they do. They move forward. It's only a little bit away from CE, though. They're trying to soak it, soaking both lanes at the same time, trying to grab that level 10 so they can move into the defensive position as quick as possible, and they are going to grab it. Tass on the way, getting a speed boost even from Lucio to get him in lane quicker, as Tracer, though, gets zoned out of lane by a Nubarak. Owl comes out. Where is Tracer going to go, actually? Getting a little bit caught out of position. We see a strafe Valor coming in here. Nice root from Arthas. Raider just freaking runs at them. Decides that the best defense is a good offense and just chases down Arthas. But now, level 10 versus level 10. Arthas, he has the Army of the Dead now. Can try and keep himself alive. They move forward once again. Poke damage from Reyna and Hammer is so good. Exterminator plus Hammer. They get to the halfway point. Valor cleaning out the Fallen Shaman camp. giving themselves a little bit less to worry about here because they have to take a fight eventually. They're luckily in a good position to take the defense here, and they have a little bit of time because the One are dealing with the Fallen Shaman camp. They also have time, though, but a bit of shield taken off there. They're going to pull back. Quick Q from Valor on the way out, most likely, because she doesn't want to get herself caught out of position. Nah, she doesn't even want to she bounces it off a Nubarak, gets a hit or two, but not too much, as Hammer creeps forward, waiting for her opportunity. Sieging up. Rainer and Hammer. Raining in the pain. Ashbringer. More stacks here. Arthur's wrapping around, but he's rumbled by Tyrael. They immediately notice this happening. 365, eating a couple extra hits here. Psystorm. No, Archon, a Luful from behind. Here comes the Shadow Stalk as a beautiful root from Arthas comes in with the cocoon, preventing him with the sanctification all on top of Arthas' cocoon. They need to blow him up quickly once this ends. They get the stun, but can they finish it? A Luful dropping low, has to stay alive to keep his untouchable stacks of the strafe being dropped here, but everyone is staying alive for the moment. They can't seem to finish anyone off, and suddenly CE are in full retreat. They dropped everything onto that engage, but were unable to finish the job, and as such, they pull back. Everyone survives, but the damage output that they need to finish off the members of the One is not there. Sank and the healing of Tyrande is too much, and the self-sustain that every single one of these members offers. Arthas once again being zoned, but it is too late as the One picks up their second immortal. Tupoko takes a little bit of damage, and CE moving in once again, land the root, but what are you going to do from here? A Luful blinks away, stun, onto Ashbringer, speed boost from Lucio, trying to get him out of danger, but Tyrael is relentless with the chase, chases him down and picks up the kill. Tyrael wiping out the Valor, quick boost from Lucio, keeps a Luful alive for the moment, one more blink, and a Luful is alive. But it's now a 5 versus 4 defense. And this is a bad time as we see the One beginning the siege. Hammer already in position. Hover Siege stepping forwards, trying to creep up towards that keep because they think they can get this. And they are probably right. 2 catapults and 1 hammer plus an immortal. They are moving in. Shields still up even. The fountain goes down. Finally the shields fall as the immortal moves into melee range. Here is the plan by the looks of it from CE to do a wraparound play of a big fight. Barricade getting dropped. Here comes the Shadow Stalk here. Big knockback. Tracer's dead. Rip untouchable. Tassadar survives, but where's the damage now? Valor's in the cocoon. There is nothing they can do to kill this immortal anymore. Valor trying to retrieve it. There's nothing she can do in a 2 versus 5 basically. And Hammer is tanking through with the help of Tyrande. They have no mana, but they have all they need now. They move on to the core, and there is nothing that Tassadar can do. That is going to be GG, and we are going to see the One take the 2-1 victory over CE, moving themselves into 2nd place on the well, I guess 3rd place technically on the table. Much more messy this time. If Tracer got a couple more stacks, it might have worked out, but that did not work out in their favor, and as such, we saw a little bit too much snowball potential as the game went on, coming in for the One, creeping forward. That immortal damage was insane that they were able to deal here. Unfortunately, there's no stat I can show you for that, but you can see the stacks here. Rainer with Exterminator just destroys that stuff. Going for a little bit of healing here, fight or flight, fuel the rush, just making sure he always had Adrenaline Rush available. Debilitating rounds is fantastic. And also, of course, we already mentioned, slows from Bed of Barbs, Titan's Plating, just keeping himself alive. It's all about sustain and survivability for this team. Entrenched plus Barricade here, keeping Hammer alive with everyone staying around it, keeping Arthas off of Hammer. And that was the main idea here. Just keep Arthas away, we have good fights. And it was simple as that. And by that, after that's out of the way, you're basically fighting 2 assassins with 2 supports. The tank having no impact on those fights, just due to the zoning, that is where they were able to take the advantage. And they even had Sank at the end of the game there to keep themselves alive. That worked beautifully for the One, and as such, they took the series. Let's have a look at the final stats here. Tassadar with the most wave clear, trying to stay in lanes as much as possible due to the Psystorms. Valor did the most damage. Tracer almost kept up, but they had nothing on Sergeant Hammer. Just got so many free hits, didn't die once, just got free damage consistently every time they approached something, just due to the protection that Nubarak and Tyrael gave, the beautiful hitting from Tyrande, and that Barricade. It was really effective against a low mobility tank, so worked out very well in their favor. Alright, that is the end of that series. Let's find out what we have next. So currently the scores are in the table. We have SBT and BTG both at the top of the table, with both being 2-0 in terms of map score, and 1-0 in terms of game score. We have then in third place, or second place technically if they're tied first, we'll say third. We have TheOne, who are currently 1-1 in game score and 2-3 in terms of map score. And then we have CE, who are unfortunately 0-2 in game score. But in terms of map score, they at least have a point. They are 1-3 in terms of 1-4, sorry, in terms of map score. Poor CE. All right, but that is the end of that series.